Okay, students, now we are going to start our next module, which is IC engine. So the full name of IC engine is internal combustion engine. So by its name you can understand that internally some combustion will take place, and by which some form of energy will be converted into another form. So first clarify the name clearly, by which you people can understand the whole thing what we are going to discuss over here. Internally combustion will take place. So that internally means internal of what? Inside of a cylinder. So a cylinder will be there. So inside a cylinder combustion will be taking place. And we all know due to combustion lots of heat energy will be evolved. And if we convert that heat energy into mechanical energy means a kind of rotation. So if anything rotates at the output end, we are getting a motion in terms of circular motion or in terms of linear motion. That is a mechanical energy. So when you burn some fuel inside of a cylinder, so lots of heat will be generated, and if we convert that heat into a mechanical energy, then we can get some motion at the output end. Now with the help of that motion you can produce electricity if you couple it with a generator, and if you couple that output with a wheel, then you can run an automobile. So that way we can say internal combustion engine is a very important prime mover. Prime mover means which can produce some motion. It's a very important prime mover by which you can produce electricity, or you can also drive any automobile. Okay, so engine is basically a combination of different components by which you can generate, or you can transform one form of energy into another form. So basically here internal combustion engine, what it doing actually? Conversion of heat energy into mechanical energy. So mechanical energy. So we can otherwise you can say that we can converting the fuel energy, because this is basically that heat energy coming from the combustion of fuel. So inside the fuel, the heat is being stored in form of chemical energy. So when that chemical reaction is taking place during the combustion, so from that chemical energy it is coming to the heat energy, then it is coming to the finally mechanical energy. Okay, so in this particular segment we are going to discuss regarding all those things. All those things means what are the different components of a IC engine, how it actually works, IC engine, what are the classification can be done for a IC engine, and obviously some numericals should be there along with some thermodynamic cycle. Okay, so first we are going to start with the kind of introduction lecture. That means first we have to familiar what are the different components and what are the different types of IC engine. Okay, so this is a pictorial view where we can see some of the parts, not all, I am repeating, some of the parts of the IC engine. I think you people already seen that particular those videos whatever I have sent you. If you have seen those videos, so you have a little bit of introductory idea how it actually works. In this pictorial view you can see the different component, like this is a vertically placed cylinder. Okay, so this cylinder, I have labeled the thing. This is a cylinder. Cylinder means this vertically placed cylinder. Mind it, that cylinder always should be placed vertically, not so. It can be placed horizontally also. Okay, so inside that cylinder we know some fuel should be coming inside with the mixture of air and fuel, because we know already from the boiler part, due to if you want to burn some fuel, so we need to supply some air along with it. So that's why in internal combustion engine first we have to push some amount of air from the atmosphere along with some fuel inside the cylinder. Okay, that is basically known as charge. So first the term charge. Charge means it is a combination of air and fuel. it is a mixture of air and fuel, that is going to be burnt inside a confined chamber, that is known as cylinder. Okay, so that this is that particular cylinder, and if you obviously want to supply some air inside the cylinder, and if you want to get out after combustion product out of the cylinder, so that way we need to keep some valve over there. So valve is the second term we are using. Valve means it's a kind of door. In easy word, I am going to clarify those things. I think it will be very crystal clear to you people after hearing all those things. Valve is a kind of door by which something can go in, something can go in or can come out. Now something means what? Something means this air fuel mixture, or it can be after combustion product. So something can be two types. One is fresh charge, or it can be exhaust gases. Both can be there, because when the combustion is taking place, at that point of time fresh charge will come in, and after completion of the combustion, after combustion product will go out of the cylinder. At that point of time exhaust gases will go out. So these valves are basically in two types. One is inlet valve and one is outlet or exhaust valve. So inlet valve helps us to come the air fuel mixture, or rather say only air from the inlet door. Okay, so in this particular pictorial view you can see this is the inlet door or inlet valve, this particular pink thing. Okay, now these valves are basically one-way valve. One-way valve means those doors only open at one side, other side it won't open. So you can see the shape of that particular valve. I have shown it by a shape of T, alphabet of T. That means what? That means that valve can move from top to bottom, but it won't move from bottom to top. So when the valve is in this condition, it is a open condition. Open condition means something can go in from this passage. Okay, so that particular view, I can see that valve is in open condition. Open condition means the passage is being kept open intentionally, by which something can come inside to the cylinder. Okay, so I can draw it again like this way. So that is a cylinder body, and the valve is acting over here like this manner. Okay, so in this particular location, you can see some space is being kept over there. So from that space something can go in like this manner, or from that side also. I am not going to draw it again. Okay, so that is the opening condition of that particular valve. But if you try to open from the bottom to the top, so it won't open, because this T head will be going to be closed at this clearance passage, by which that valve will be getting closed. So this particular valve is known as exhaust valve. I am drawing the exhaust valve now. Now at that point of time, you can see the exhaust valve is in completely closed condition. So when this inlet valve is opened, that point of time something can go inside the cylinder, and when the something is coming inside the cylinder, that particular point of time, obviously inside the cylinder the pressure will be very less means less than the atmospheric pressure. If the pressure of the cylinder should not lesser than the atmospheric pressure, then something, that means air or fuel, whatever it is trying to come inside, it will not come, because we know the fluid only will flow if there is a pressure difference. So obviously when the inlet valve is opened, that point of time inside this cylinder, the empty space, whatever I can see over here, this empty space is having a negative pressure. So negative pressure means lesser than the atmospheric pressure. If there is lesser than atmospheric pressure, then something can go in from the atmosphere inside the cylinder. Okay, So that point of time when the piston is coming from top to bottom, that point of time inside the cylinder one negative pressure will be created, and that particular process is known as suction stroke. Suction stroke. Why it is known as suction? Because something is coming inside, so something is getting sucked inside the cylinder. How it is coming? Because there is a negative pressure comparing with the atmospheric pressure. So if there is negative pressure, something will be coming inside the cylinder by a pulling force. It's a kind of injection syringe. You people are very well aware of the injection syringe. Why that injection, inside the injection syringe that medicine will come? Because inside the injection syringe you are pulling a plunger like this manner. So when you are pulling a plunger like this inside the injection cylinder, then a negative pressure will be created inside that syringe, a vacuum. That's why the medicine automatically comes inside the injection syringe. That same process will be copied over here also. The inlet valve is opened, and inside the cylinder the piston is moving downward. So which one is piston? This part, this block is known as piston. Inside the injection syringe also there is a piston, a black colored small rubber circular thing you can see. When you are pulling the plunger, that black colored piston will be having a suction stroke. Same kind of phenomenon copied over here also. When the piston is moving downward, a suction will be, vacuum will be created inside the cylinder, by which if there is any opening, through that anything can come inside, because inside there is negative pressure, outside there is positive pressure. Okay, so piston is, when it is moving from top to bottom, that point of time the stroke is known as suction stroke. Now one thing should be clear over here, that stroke means piston travel from TDC to BDC or vice versa. That means BDC to TDC or vice versa. So it can be TDC to BDC or BDC to TDC. So what is TDC and BDC? TDC means top dead center, and BDC means bottom dead center. What does it mean? That means top dead center. That means inside the cylinder, how much the cylinder piston can travel at the top position, that is top dead center. Suppose we are assuming up to here that piston can reach to the top. That means after that point the piston won't travel upward, because if it is travel then it will be getting collide with the valve. That's why there will be upper limit of traveling the piston. Similarly, there will be a bottom limit of traveling the piston. Suppose I am assuming that is the bottom limit, that is the top limit. So this particular length will be known as stroke. This particular length will be known as stroke. And I think you people are aware of this particular term. This term stroke, we very frequently say that is a 2-stroke, that is a 4-stroke. We randomly say that those terms. Okay. So the stroke means nothing but the traveling of the piston, maximum traveling. Piston travel from TDC to BDC or vice versa. That means BDC to TDC. Okay, this maximum travel is known as 1 stroke. So suction stroke means when piston is moving from top dead center to bottom dead center. So in this particular suction stroke, piston is moving from TDC to BDC. Clear? Piston moving from TDC to BDC, that point of time inside the cylinder there will be a vacuum, and due to that vacuum something will be coming inside. So that's when the piston reaches to the BDC, then the suction stroke will be completed. Repeating, when piston starts to travel from TDC and it reaches to the BDC, that means 1 stroke is being completed, and that stroke is known as suction stroke. Okay, so during this suction stroke, what is happening? Happening 2 things. 1, inlet valve is opened. 2, during that opening, something will come inside if the piston is moving from TDC to BDC. So piston is moving, valve is getting opened, so something is coming inside. That is suction stroke. Suction stroke is completed when the piston reaches to the BDC. Fine. Now coming to the next stroke. Next stroke is known as compression stroke. So in compression stroke, what will happen? Just the reverse thing. That means now piston is moving from BDC to TDC. Okay, again repeating. That point of time, piston repeating from BDC to TDC. So that means piston is moving from bottom to top. So that point of time, what will happen? Inside the cylinder, that point of time, both the valves will be closed. Both valves will be closed. So if the valves are getting closed now, so inside the cylinder there will be a kind of confined chamber. There is no opening. So if there is no opening and the air fuel mixture, what it is being getting sucked, it is getting compressed. So what will happen? So if inside a confined volume, if you compress anything, if you compress any gas, so the pressure and temperature will be raised. Obviously pressure and temperature both will raised. If the pressure and temperature both is getting raised, that point of time, just before the end of compression, one sparking device will be there. So third important device is coming there, that is known as spark plug. That spark plug basically kind of lighter. It is kept over there just to create a chingari. It will create a spark. When it will be spark? When this compression stroke is just comes to an end part, just before the ending of the compression stroke, when the pressure and temperature both are very very high, that point of time a spark will be initiated by the spark plug. So when this spark plug is created a spark, so what will happen? The ambience is very hot and highly pressurized. One spark is being created. So as a result, explosion will take place. Explosion will take place. So when the explosion will take place, we all know lots of energy will be created. Okay. So coming to the next video again, continuing with this. So again starting. So up to here, what we know, that one stroke is suction and second stroke was discussing about, it was compression. So during the compression stroke, what are the things happening there? One, that both the valves will closed. Valves are closed. Both the valves are closed. So cylinder is acting like a confined leak-proof chamber. That point of time, pressure and temperature of the sucked material is getting high and high. That point of time, if it is a petrol engine, I am talking about now only petrol engine. Okay. Petrol engines I am talking about. Afterwards I will come with the diesel engine. Petrol engine is also known as SI engine. So write the short form also. It is very frequently asked question. SI engine means spark ignition engine. Why it is spark ignition? Because there is a spark plug. Spark ignition engine. Okay. So in the case of petrol engine, one spark plug will be there. I have no labeled over here spark plug. It is being placed at the mid of the cylinder span, cylinder head. So that spark plug will create a chingari by which that air fuel mixture, which one is being already being sucked, is getting exploded. So when any explosion is take place, so obviously lots of pressure energy will be created, lots of energy will be created. So that pressure energy will be create a thrust on the piston surface. It will create a thrust on the piston surface. So mind it, when compression stroke is going on, the piston is moving from BDC to TDC. So already we have discussed regarding two stroke. One is suction stroke, when piston is moving from top to bottom. Then compression stroke, piston is moving from bottom dead center to top dead center. Two stroke is being completed. Now next coming to third stroke, that is known as expansion of power. expansion stroke or power stroke. So in this particular case, what is happening there? In this particular case, piston is moving from top to bottom, TDC to BDC. Piston is again moving TDC to BDC. That point of time, what is happening just before of power stroke? One explosion is being created. So due to explosion, lots of thrust is being created on the piston surface. So that point of time, due to the thrust of the piston is bound to move from top to bottom with a high energy. Okay, so when piston is moving from top to bottom, so what will happen? That motion of the piston is connected with a shaft. This particular green colored point, I think you can see this green colored point I have noted over here by crankshaft. Mind the spelling, C-R-A-N-K, crankshaft. So it is a cross-sectional view, so it is basically a shaft, that means kind of this thing. Okay, kind of this thing. So this shaft, if you take a cross-section view, that is from this side, it will be a point. So I have shown that point over here. So that piston is connected with this crankshaft with the help of some links. You can see one link is there, this straight line. That is I named over here connecting rod. And this link is over here, that is known as by crank. Both of this link or both of this connecting member basically joined the piston to this particular shaft. So what will happen? When during the expansion or power stroke, the piston is moving from top dead center to bottom dead center with a very high kinetic energy, then that linear motion of the piston will be converted into rotary motion of that particular crankshaft. Because if the piston is moving downward, so it will push this link downward, this link also downward, it will be pushed. So due to that, one hinge point is there. So due to this hinge point, this particular crank member will try to rotate 180 degree. Just try to imagine the thing in 3D manner. I think you have already seen the video, so it will be very easy to understand if you have seen the 3D modeling. So basically this connecting rod is a very important element. It is helping to convert the circular motion, to convert the linear motion of piston into circular motion of crankshaft. It's a very important thing. We need to convert that motion because we are getting a linear motion of piston, but that linear motion will not be transferred to the generator or to the automobile. If the linear motion is being transferred, so what will happen? Generator में और automobile में ऐसा यही motion available होता, तो उसमें कोई काम नहीं होता. इसीलिए we need to convert that motion from linear motion to the circular motion, and that way connecting rod is helping us to convert that linear motion into circular motion. So it's a very important element, that connecting rod. So from connecting rod, that linear motion is converted into circular motion of crank and to the crankshaft. So crankshaft is basically the output shaft. That is the output shaft, that crankshaft. It's a very important thing that from the crankshaft, if you connect any kind of automobile wheel, or if you connect any generator, so you have to connect those things with this crankshaft, because crankshaft will be the output. Got it? So from the linear motion of piston, it is being converted into circular motion. So during this expansion or power stroke, the piston is moving from TDC to BDC, and with the help of this linking arrangement, we have converted the motion into circular motion. That's why it is known as power stroke, because the power is being generated, power is being getting at the output end. And why it is known as expansion stroke? Because this volume inside the cylinder, it is being expanded. Just before of that, compression is there, because the volume of that inside the cylinder is getting compressed. So when the piston is moving from bottom to top, something is getting compressed, and when the piston is moving from top to bottom, then something is going to be expanded. That's why it is also known as expansion stroke or power stroke. And stroke, I think you people are now well aware of that. The stroke is nothing but traveling of the piston from top dead to bottom dead or bottom dead to top dead. Understood? Now next stroke is coming, that exhaust stroke. So up to here already we have cleared. Now what are the different three strokes: suction, compression and expansion or power. Now after completion of the expansion stroke, all the power we are getting at already being generated. Now after the power, we need to throw out all the after combustion gases out of the cylinder. If we don't throw out the gases, then something fresh thing cannot come inside, and if something fresh in air fuel mixture cannot come inside of the cylinder, then this process will be stopped. That's why some afterburnt gases should be pushed out of the cylinder. So that point of time, piston moving again from BDC to TDC. So if the piston is moving from BDC to TDC, so something is getting compressed. Something means what? Something means after combustion product. So if one valve is now, that point of time exhaust valve will be opened and the inlet valve will be remain closed. So that point of time, some afterburnt gases, it will be going out of the cylinder with the help of this exhaust valve. So in exhaust stroke, exhaust valve will be opened, but the inlet valve obviously will be remain closed, and something will go outside of the cylinder, that is known as after combustion gases. Okay, so obviously at the time of exhaust stroke, inside the cylinder it will be high pressure, and outside the cylinder it will be low pressure. That's why obviously always the fluid will flow from high pressure to low pressure, and inside the cylinder there is a compression. That means the piston is compressing the medium, so pressure will be obviously higher than the atmospheric. So obviously if there is any opening, that means if there is any valve is open, so some material or some fluid will be pushed outside with a very high velocity. Okay, so that way the exhaust stroke is being completed when after combustion gases will be throwing out of the cylinder. So that way all these four strokes, suction, compression, expansion and exhaust, are being completed, by which what we are getting? We are getting a power. That means we are getting a circular motion at the output. Okay, so in this particular section we can see all these elements whatever we have shown over here and the function of them. And the circular part, this particular circular part is basically known as crankcase. Why it is known as crankcase? Because inside of that particular chamber some crankshaft is being kept, crank is being kept, and obviously some lubricating oil also will be there, which lubricating oil is rather we say by engine oil. Obviously that crankcase always will be stored with some lubricating oil, so it will lubricate the whole inside things, by which the friction can be reduced or minimized. And we use engine oil every time when you are going to service your any two-wheeler or four-wheeler. So that point of time there is a time limit as to some fixed amount of kilometer or some duration, that engine oil should be replaced with a new one. And that engine oil helping us two ways. That is one, just to keep all the things lubricated, as well as to some extent it will cool down the temperature of the cylinder also. Okay, and you can see one very important thing, this piston having two, this part and that part. I have drawn two lines on the piston head, and what are they? They are known as piston ring. I can't write over here these things are basically known as piston rings. They are very, very, very important. Why? Because piston rings are there just to help, just to prevent the leakage. What leakage? I have already told that there is a pond of lubricating oil, engine oil sump is there. So every time when the process is going on, the engine oil is being splashed, just like a splash through this surface. Through this surface there will be a splash of lubrication. All the lubricating oil will be splashed throughout this crankcase, by which all the parts as well as this cylinder, this part, that part also being lubricated. So if any of the lubricating oil comes at the top of the piston, so what will happen? it will be getting mixed with the air fuel mixture. So if the engine lubricating oil is being mixed with the air fuel mixture, so it will create a very lean combustion. It will affect the combustion. That's why the piston rings will be there. It will prevent from two ways, that these combustion things or the air fuel mixture should not come at the top part, the bottom part of the piston, as well as engine oil should not go at the top part of the piston. Both the ways these piston rings helps to prevent the leakage. Okay, so there is 3 sets of rings. There are some piston having 2 sets of ring, or that means 2 numbers of ring or 3 numbers of rings are there. Similarly, the piston, when it is moving with the cylinder, inside the cylinder, there will be high friction between this contact surface, that means piston surface and the cylinder surface. So that point of time, if you place any ring over there, the only ring will be rubbing on the cylinder surface. So due to the rubbing, wear obviously will be there. Something, if it is continuously rubbing with 2 surfaces, obviously they will be getting wear. So if the piston is continuously rubbing on the cylinder surface, so the piston will be getting wet. So it's a very expensive, or it is very laborious to change the whole piston to after some period. That's why that ring is being placed over there, by which if the ring is being wet, getting wet, then what will happen after, during the maintenance period, only the ring can be replaced very easily. It will be cheaper and it will be easier to do. That's why also piston ring is being kept over there for just to avoid the changing of the piston by replacing a piston ring only. Okay, so piston ring also very important. And these small circular thing you can see, that is basically a pin. That pin is known as Gaussian pin, G-U-D-G-E-O-N, Gaussian pin or Gaussian pin. Why it is kept over there? It is basically connecting piston with connecting rod. It is connecting these 2 things, piston with connecting rod. So the Gaussian pin is nothing but a pin. It will join 2 elements. Which 2 elements? That is piston and the connecting rod. It will joining these 2 elements. Okay. So that way these are the things whatever we can see in this pictorial view. So after that, in our next video, we are going to basically what we have discussed up to this. They all are dealing with that SI engine, that means the petrol engine. Mind it is not a diesel engine, and it is also a 4-stroke engine. Also, we are discussing up to this only regarding petrol engine, also 4-stroke engine. Why it is 4-stroke? Because from suction up to exhaust, suction, compression, expansion and exhaust, 4-stroke is being completed. 1 stroke means 1 travel of piston from TDC to BTC or BTC to TDC. So due to this 4-stroke, 4 process is being completed. That's why this particular up to this we have only discussed regarding 4-stroke SI engine. Okay, next video will be coming. Now coming to the third part, that is we are discussing here regarding IC engine, but in this particular case we are going to discuss IC engine in CI form. CI means compression ignition. Compression ignition engine. So it is also named as diesel engine. So what is the basic difference between this petrol or SI engine and CI and diesel engine? So by its name you can really understand that SI means spark ignition. So some sparking device will be there to initiate the combustion. And in CI engine only compression stroke or compression pressure and temperature will be taking role or taking the important role to start the combustion. I am repeating my words. In case of CI engine, only the compression stroke generated high pressure and temperature will take the important role to run out or to carry on the combustion process. So in this particular CI engine, there will be no spark plug. No spark plug will be there, but fuel injector is being there. So in this view, I haven't labeled all those things. Basically, they are very same with the SI engine. Just the difference is that instead of a spark plug, we have placed there in the same place. We have placed it a fuel injector. So fuel injector, what it does actually, it does the injection procedure inside the cylinder, kind of a spray. I think you are familiar with the word spray. Spray means fuel will be sprayed inside the cylinder in atomized form. That means in a very small droplet की shape में that fuel will be sprayed inside the cylinder. जैसे कोरोना के टाइम हम लोग सब जानते हैं कि हम लोग जब खांसते हैं तो lots of droplet in basically diffuse in the atmosphere. That same thing if we do with the help of an injector with a highly pressurized fuel, basically sprayed inside a cylinder, then what will happening inside? In the cylinder, small droplets of fuel is being diffused inside the cylinder chamber, and if there is already air with a high pressure and temperature due to the compression stroke, so what will happen? Again a explosion will take place. So basically the basic difference in between SI engine and CI engine is that in SI engine spark ignition will be there. In case of CI engine, compression ignition is there. So spark ignition means sparking device will be assistive to help initiate the combustion. In CI engine only the compression stroke में जो pressure और temperature raise होगा, वो pressure और temperature ही responsible होगा to carry on the to initiate the combustion process. That's the basic difference. Okay, so by its name you can understand that in case of SI engine, it is also known as petrol engine because the fuel is being used, that is petrol, and in case of CI engine we are using diesel as a fuel, so that's why it is also known as diesel engine. So diesel engine and auto engine, petrol engine, and they are also on auto engine. Petrol engine also we can say it is running on a thermodynamic cycle which is known as the Otto cycle, and diesel engine is based running on a thermodynamic cycle also, and that is known as diesel cycle. So cycle I will come in later. So first see the working principle of CI engine. Some of the things are very similar to the SI engine, so I am not going to repeat those things, these elements or components of this engine. So in case of the CI engine also suction stroke will be there, but in case of petrol engine, in suction stroke air and fuel mixture will come in, but in case of CI engine, in suction stroke what is coming inside? Only air is getting sucked. I am repeating my words again. In case of hear it or listen it carefully. In case of petrol engine or in case of SI engine, in suction stroke, when the suction inlet valve is opened, that point of time air and fuel mixture will come in case of SI engine, mind you. But in case of CI engine, when the suction stroke is started, only air is getting sucked. No fuel will be there, only air. So air is getting sucked, piston is moving from TDC to BDC. Inside the cylinder there will be vacuum pressure, so some inlet, if the inlet valve is opened, so some air will coming in, only air. So when air is being stored inside the cylinder and piston is travelled from TDC to BDC, if it is TDC and if it is BDC, so the piston it reaches to BDC, that means suction stroke is being completed, same like the SI engine. Only the difference is that in case of suction stroke only air is getting sucked, no fuel will be there. Now after completion of suction stroke, then started the compression stroke again. So in compression stroke, piston will move from BDC to TDC. So the pressure and the temperature of the working medium, what working medium means the air is being stored. So the pressure and temperature pressure and temperature of that particular working medium, that is air, is getting raised with a high extent. So when the temperature and pressure are very high of that particular air what is being stored inside the cylinder, why it is getting raised? Because both the valves are closed. That I think you already know. Both valves are closed. If some of the valves are opened, so the pressure or temperature it won't raise, because if some passage will be opened, so if you compressing anything it will be going out now. That's why both valves should be closed. So inside a confined chamber, air is being compressed, so pressure or temperature is getting raised. So that point of time, just before the end of compression stroke, that means piston BDC से TDC तक जा रहा है, TDC से पहुंचने से थोड़ा सा पहले, मान लो यहाँ पे कहीं पे पिस्टन है, उस टाइम पे that injector is being used to inject the fuel or to spray the fuel inside the cylinder. So when the diesel is being sprayed with a very small particle size, like a kind of atomic shape, and the temperature of air is very high, so automatically it will be getting ignited. Again, an explosion will take place. Okay. So mind it, in case of CI engine, this high pressure and temperature of air is being utilized to create the combustion. So when it is being exploded, so again a huge amount of thrust will be created on the piston surface. So that piston will carry on that thrust to the connecting rod. From connecting rod it is crank, then from crank to crankshaft. So crankshaft also will rotate. So that way rest of the things are very same with the SI engine. There are only two differences in case of SI and CI engine. Lots of differences are there, but most important differences are this, that spark plug injector and air fuel mixture to only air. So in case of CI engine, that due to the injection timing, that fuel is being sprayed inside, not before of that. Again, after compression stroke, that exhaust stroke will come. So again, in the exhaust stroke, like the SI engine, exhaust valve will be opened instead of inlet valve. So inlet valve, how long it will be opened? When the suction stroke is going on. Suction started, inlet valve opened, suction completed, inlet valve closed. Similarly, exhaust stroke will be opened at the time of exhaust stroke beginning, when the piston start to move from BDC. That exhaust valve will be getting opened, and when the piston is moved to the TDC, then exhaust valve will be getting closed. So that's why that inlet exhaust valve will be getting opened and closed at a proper time. When they are going to be opened and when they are going to be closed, it is being designed and calculated properly, by which at a proper time inlet valve and exhaust valve they will do their job. ऐसा नहीं है कि जब चाहे खोल दिए, जब चाहे बंद कर दिए दरवाजा, ऐसा है नहीं. प्रॉपर टाइम पे जब इनलेट वाल्व को खोलना है तब ये खोलेगा, जब इसको बंद करना है तब ये बंद होगा. ठीक है. सो दैट वे डीजल इंजन, सीआई इंजन, ये भी मैंने जो भी डिस्कशन अभी तक हुआ, ये भी 4 स्ट्रोक के लिए है. माइंड इट, 4 स्ट्रोक. दैट मीन्स ऑल दिस प्रोसेस इज बीइंग कंप्लीटेड बाय यूजिंग 4 स्ट्रोक. 1 stroke means piston moving from TDC to BDC 1 stroke. ऐसे 4 स्ट्रोक में 4 इंडिविजुअल प्रोसेस कंप्लीटेड हुआ, इसीलिए इसको हम लोग बोलते हैं 4 स्ट्रोक इंजन. तो यहीं पे एक चीज आ जाता है कि सर ये अगर 4 स्ट्रोक है तो 2 स्ट्रोक क्या होता है. तो यहीं से ये इलाबोरेट कर देता हूं. 4 स्ट्रोक में ये 4 स्ट्रोक में 4 प्रोसेस होगा, तो 2 स्ट्रोक में ओनली 2 स्ट्रोक विल बी देयर. That means piston moving from TDC to BDC 1 stroke and piston moving from BDC to TDC 2nd stroke. ये 2 स्ट्रोक होगा, लेकिन दोनों स्ट्रोक के अंदर ये 4 प्रोसेस कंप्लीट हो जाएगा. 2 स्ट्रोक के अंदर ये सक्शन, कंप्रेशन, एक्सपांशन एंड एग्जॉस्ट, ये चारों के चारों स्ट्रोक will be completed inside 2 stroke. That means when the listen it carefully, it will be very easy. When the piston is moving from TDC to BDC, okay, when the piston is moving from TDC to BDC, that point of time, top part of the piston there is a suction pressure or vacuum pressure, because something is getting downward, piston is getting downward, that means at the top part of the piston there will be a vacuum pressure, negative pressure. So something will be coming in. That means suction stroke is going on at the top part of the piston. But if you think bottom part of the piston, if something is already being stored at the bottom part of the piston, suppose we have already stored some material like air fuel mixture inside at the bottom of the piston, so that will be getting compressed, because when the piston is moving downward, so bottom part of the piston it is being getting compressed, and the top part of the piston it is being expanded. So that's why for a single stroke, that means from piston is moving from TDC to BDC, in a single stroke two process is being completed, suction and compression. At the top part of the piston there will be suction stroke, at the bottom part of the piston there will be compression stroke. So one stroke, two process is being completed. Similarly, when the piston is moving from BDC to TDC, that point of time at the bottom part of the piston there will be expansion stroke, and top part of the piston there will be exhaust stroke. So the second stroke में ये दो process खत्म हो जाएगा. तो ये तुम्हारा फर्स्ट स्ट्रोक में हो जाएगा, ये तुम्हारा सेकेंड स्ट्रोक में हो जाएगा. ऐसे दो स्ट्रोक के अंदर दो प्रोसेस कंप्लीट हो जाएगा. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए ये टू स्ट्रोक इंजन में बेसिकली ये कंफ्यूजन हो सकता है कि ये सर नीचे सर कैसे आ रहा है. नीचे आने के लिए ये सिलेंडर की जो बॉडी है, इसके बॉडी के ऊपर से चैनल कटा हुआ है. You can see a video of a two-stroke working principle. You can see a video tutorial or simulation on YouTube how the two-stroke is working. You can see there will be a port, there will be a channel cut on the cylinder body by which something can go or something can move from top to bottom as well from bottom to top, and that port is known as transfer port. Transfer port, because that port means a channel, and because that port is being used to transfer the material from top to bottom of the piston or bottom to top of the piston. That's why it is known as transfer port. Okay, so the two-stroke engine basically in before 50 or 60, 30 or 40 years back, not 40, 30 years back, we can see two-stroke scooters are there. 20 years back also we can see some of the two-stroke scooters are there. Okay, but nowadays two-stroke is completely prohibited, completely banned, because the problem is that in case of two-stroke engine, when some of the things, some air fuel mixture is being transferred to the bottom part of the piston, and we know that at the bottom part of the piston there is a lubricating oil. So lubricating oil is getting mixed with the combustion. So that way it will affect the combustion procedure. So that way when the exhaust gases are coming out of the cylinder for two-stroke engine, lots of pollution will be getting increased. You can see lots of black smoke coming out of the white smoke is coming out of the two-stroke scooters, because lots of engine oil or lubricating oil is getting mixed with the air fuel mixture. That's why two-stroke engine pollution level को बढ़ा देता है. ये major consideration था two-stroke engine को बैन करने के लिए. हाँ ठीक है, तो टू-स्ट्रोक स्कूटर अभी भी किसी के घर पे है तो देखना कि ये जो चलता है कि पीछे से सादा धुआं मारता है. ये सादा धुआं निकलने के कारण ये है कि lubricating oil and the air fuel mixture, they are actually mixed together. And if anybody having old model two-stroke scooter, you can see at the petrol pump, आप लोग जब फ्यूल भरने जाते हो तो ये फ्यूल के साथ साथ फ्यूल टैंक के अंदर कुछ lubricating oil भी डाल देता है. ठीक है, इसका कारण ये है कि टू स्ट्रोक इंजन पे एयर और lubricating oil and fuel, they are already being mixed. That's why the pollution level will be getting increased, because lubricating oil, when it is getting burned with the fuel, so it will create lots of pollution, more pollution. That's why two-stroke engine nowadays it is completely banned. So from working principle point of view, in two-stroke engine only two-stroke is being carried on, and for this two-stroke this four process is being completed. So the problem is that in two-stroke engine में ये जो combustion procedure होता है, ये पूरा के पूरा fuel को burn कर नहीं पाते. तो most of the lots amount of fuel particle will be going out with the atmosphere, to the atmosphere, because very less amount of time is given. for the combustion. That's why unburned fuel particle, it's a very important point. Unburned fuel particle going to the atmosphere due to the less time given to the combustion. Okay, so that way the two stroke engine is very fuel consumption भी high होता है, combustion और atmospheric pollution भी high होता है. तो ये सब कारण से टू स्ट्रोक इंजन धीरे धीरे बहुत लिमिटेड हो गया है, अभी बैन ही हो चुका है. लेकिन टू स्ट्रोक इंजन का एक बहुत बड़ा एडवांटेज था क्या, कि हाई एक्सेलरेशन और हाई एक्सेलरेशन में शॉर्ट करके ACCL लिख देता हूं, हाई एक्सेलरेशन इन लेस टाइम. ये एक इसका इंपॉर्टेंट था. क्योंकि ये देख पा रहे हो कि 2 स्ट्रोक ऑफ द पिस्टन इज गिविंग यू 1 पावर स्ट्रोक. क्योंकि 2 स्ट्रोक ऑफ द पिस्टन के अंदर ये चारों प्रोसेस हो जाता है. चारों प्रोसेस के अंदर तो एक्सपांशन और पावर स्ट्रोक भी घुसा हुआ है. तो 2 स्ट्रोक ऑफ द पिस्टन गिविंग यू 1 पावर स्ट्रोक. Understood? But in case of 4 stroke, 4 stroke of the piston giving you 1 power stroke. So that way, lesser time will be needed to get 1 power stroke. I'm repeating my words. Lesser time is needed to get 1 power stroke. That's why 2 stroke engine giving you more power in less time. So peak speed or high acceleration will be easy for 2 stroke engine. ठीक है, 2 stroke बाइक्स अभी भी देख सकते हो, जो रेसिंग दिखाता है वहां पे एक रेस चलता है जो माडी या ऑफ रोड ट्रैक में रेस होता है बाइक्स का. वहां पे जो बाइक सीज होता है देखना, उसके पीछे से बहुत सारा सादा धुआं निकलता है और वो कहीं पे कोई भी रास्ते में, ये गड्ढा हो, मर्ड्स हो, ऑफ रोड हो, कहीं पे भी चल जाता है और उसका स्पीड भी काफी हाई होता है. कम टाइम के अंदर बहुत जल्दी वो पीक स्पीड ले लेता है. क्योंकि वो 2 स्ट्रोक है इसलिए वो पीछे से बहुत सारा सादा धुआं मारता है और वो जल्दी पीक स्पीड ले लेता है क्योंकि वो 2 स्ट्रोक में चलता है. और 2 स्ट्रोक में क्यों पीक स्पीड ज्यादा आता है कम टाइम के अंदर, क्योंकि वो 2 स्ट्रोक के अंदर 1 पावर स्ट्रोक देता है. 4 स्ट्रोक में क्यों देरी से पावर पीक स्पीड लेता है, क्योंकि 4 स्ट्रोक के बाद 1 पावर स्ट्रोक देता है. तो दोज आर द डिफरेंसेस बिटवीन 2 स्ट्रोक एंड 4 स्ट्रोक. सो इफ यू गो थ्रू एनी टेक्स्ट बुक यू कैन गेट इट फ्रॉम देयर. So after this part you go through with a textbook or with any web source and collect those informations. Like those points I won't be possible. It is not very possible for me to cover every point by this kind of lectures. So you people also do some homework, like differences between 2 stroke and 4 stroke. Differences between 2 stroke and 4 stroke. Then differences between SI and CI engine. Okay. Then working principle of CI engine, working principle of SI engine. ये भी देख लेना, ठीक है. फिर मैं इसके बाद जो वीडियो लेके आ रहा हूँ उसमें कुछ साइकिल्स दिखाएंगे, हाउ द डीजल इंजन वर्क्स, हाउ द पेट्रोल इंजन वर्क्स. ओके, नेक्स्ट प्रोसीड.